Pop-Tarts, that iconic breakfast treat we all secretly craved as kids. But why was it always so off limits? Was it the excessive sugar or the allure of a forbidden snack? Honestly, I don't know. This isn't a commentary channel, I just wanted an alluring intro. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome to the channel. A couple months ago, I recreated a bagel painting, which turned out to be quite a hit with my highly exclusive live audience of 3. Nonetheless, it was enough to spark my interest into 3D food paintings. Thus began my mindless spiraling doom scroll through Pinterest. At last, I stumbled upon this. The ultimate Pop-Tart wall art by Pop Daisy Studio on Etsy. The price of these range from about $78 to $220 depending on the size. As per usual though, I will be attempting to recreate them for $0. Yes, $0. Seriously though, not a dime spent. The canvases and the paint I got for free. The polymer clay and the resin I did purchase, but they were from previous projects, so it doesn't count, right? If you're using leftovers, they don't count, okay? Side note, if you do find it difficult conjuring up art supplies, definitely check out Facebook Marketplace and Judie. This video isn't sponsored at all by them or anyone really. It's just I've had a lot of luck finding free supplies on those platforms, so 10 out of 10 recommend. Anyways, without further ado, if you're ready to see how an ever so nostalgic snack can become a centerpiece of a room, grab your art supplies and let's get started. When looking at the painting on its own, it's kind of hard to tell that it's a Pop-Tart, but when you look at them like all together, side by side, then you're like, without a doubt, that's a Pop-Tart. So I feel like I have no choice but to paint at least 2 of them. One with the icing and another with the sprinkles. To start, we're gonna need some canvases. I don't think the size of it really matters as long as it's rectangle shaped. But for the curious Nellies out there, the ones I have are 8" by 10". We're starting with a beige base, so I grabbed some of the yellowy mustard color and mixed in some white. I poured out way too much of the white, so I gradually added some more of the yellow till I got something a little more accurate. Since my paint usually dries darker, I made the mix just a touch lighter than the final shade I'm aiming for. Remember to coat the sides as well. I'm coating the second canvas with the same batch of paint so I don't have to struggle with matching the shade later. So be sure to mix enough paint from the start to cover everything in one go. While that's drying, let's work on the icing and sprinkles. Pulling out my handy dandy box of polymer clay, I picked out 4 colors I want for my sprinkles, then roll it out till it's nice and thin. Chop it up, then place them on a tile, ready to be baked. For the icing, I just rolled out some of the blue polymer clay, then placed it on a big tile in a squiggly manner, like this. Wait, no, maybe like this? Okay, wait, one more. Okay, perfect. Bake it at about 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 degrees Celsius for 30 to 45 minutes. Let it cool down, loosen it off the tile, then bake for another 2 hours at the same temperature. Now, I know, it might sound like a little overkill, but I find this method of baking makes the piece a little more durable and flexible. Not that that really matters, it's really just a force of habit. If you're new to polymer clay though, I suggest you just follow the instructions on the package yours comes with. Back to the painting. For the second layer, I'm gonna just pour some white paint directly on the canvas. This feels so wrong, but also so right at the same time. Swiss that around a bit, then onto the pink. I mixed in a bit of purple in an attempt to take the neon element out of it, but that did nothing. The pink paint itself is super thin, so I'm gonna have to do a couple coats of this. Of course, using a hairdryer in between, so I'm not wasting my day waiting for paint to dry. I think I ended up doing 6 or 7 layers, so whatever you do, avoid this brand of paint. My goodness. Also, it smells kind of like Manic Panic hair dye, which I don't think is something anyone is looking for in paint, so yeah. The original artwork has some icing shadow, but I'm not really a fan of it, so I'm just gonna skip that and move on to the resin. To To glue these pieces onto the canvas, I'm just gonna apply a small amount of resin on one side of the polymer clay pieces, arrange them however I like, then cure for 60 seconds. Now, cover the whole canvas in resin. I'm using a paintbrush to get into every nook and cranny. Then use a heat gun to get rid of the bubbles before curing with a UV lamp. I did roughly 60 seconds per section, so about a 5-minute cure altogether. Then do the exact same thing to the other Pop-Tart. And there we have it. The perfect Pop-Tart wall art to feed my 3D food painting obsession. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm pretending to rate this because let's be real, it's an obvious 10 out of 10. I'm officially crowning this DIY as a masterpiece. No critiques, no tweaks, no second thoughts. It's giving quirky, it's giving delicious, and it looks ridiculously perfect in my space. Well, that's all I got for you this week. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!